I love PRS guitars, and I've been on the quest for the perfect SE model. My ideal model would be the NF53, but an SE version. And guess what happened this week? It arrived. I was gutted, and here's why. The SE models are great. They're a really affordable way to get a PRS. The quality is very good. I've had a number of SE models. One of my favourite guitars is an SE hollow body. The fit and finish of that guitar is absolutely flawless. I've had some other guitars that are a bit hit and miss, so the Korean ones are absolutely fantastic. I had a soap bar version of the 245, which had a certain scale length. It was really cool. It's like a Les Paul. So the NF53 as a core model is a real fresh take on the Telecaster, and that's great because I love Telecasters. But it was very sort of PRS-ified, and it addressed some of the things with the Telecaster. I was hoping it would be almost like what they did with the Silver Sky. So they got a Silver Sky core model, and they pretty much reproduced the shape and the feel and the look of those guitars and the sound. And I had one of those. The quality wasn't quite up to scratch with that model that I had. But I was kind of hoping that the NF53 would be kind of like that. So it came, and let's look at it. It's not quite the same, is it? There's a big, massive scratch plate that feels like they're cheaped out, really. That's how it feels to me, and that's my personal observation. They've made it different enough for people to still want the core model, I think, which is a bit of a letdown for me. So the neck profile does take up a lot of your hand. Out there already are some deep dives. The main problem for me is the way it looks. So you might be thinking to yourself, that's cool, just take the scratch plate off. You can't. They've sort of routed the whole space underneath there for that scratch plate, so you can't just remove it and put like a core model one on. So they've kind of got you over a barrel on that front. Maybe I'll enjoy the looks of it as time goes on. So I've been waiting for this guitar for a while, and in the meantime, I tried some real Telecasters, and I had a Telecaster already, but I thought this might be a different kind of feel to it, and it might have a bit more punch. So I had a look, and I tried some real old Fender ones, some 60s Teles that were absolutely sublime, and there's a 60s one that I tried out that was just absolutely amazing. And it really got me hooked. So I then ended up going down the 60s Tele route. So this is a classic vibe, and it's a fraction of the price really of one of these guitars that are for sale. One of the other things that I noticed about the NF53 is that you can't really be upgrading the pickups or changing the pickups. So once you've got these NF pickups, your only alternative option, because of the shape of them, you can't really just put like a pair of Seymour Duncan quarter pounds in. You can't put some twisted Teles in. You can't just go and get a set of Fender noiseless ones. You can't, suddenly put a P90 or a humbucker in. You're kind of limited. Whereas Telecaster shaped stuff tends to have like a ubiquitous set of pickup options. So if you do want to modify your guitar, it might be better to go down this kind of route. In the end, I'd plucked for a Squier Classic vibe, made in the same location in the world as these SE guitars. But this guitar came to me really well made and ready to go out the box. I have made some modifications. I've upgraded the pickups to Seymour Duncan quarter pound pickups, and I've put a 4-way selector on. So I'll demonstrate that in a minute. But this guitar cost me $399 brand new, and the modifications have cost me about £100 all in, including the bridge with the brass saddles. Again, for £500, I've got a really ultra kind of Telecaster there, and I would put it against an NF53. I think this is quite a satisfying guitar to be playing. So first thing I'm going to do is just a little sound comparison. I'm using a Tonex with a PRS amp, kind of mirroring what's on the demo video. So if you stay tuned, I'll just demo it in the same kind of way. And you'll hear the same kind of, you'll hear the differences, hopefully. secret weapon, I can just do this and it will make these into a humbucker. So that's for like rocking out. So that's my conclusion. I'm kind of glad that I went for the Squier in the end, because it's the cost of that guitar, that the cost of the NF53 is £979 right now, which is more than double the cost of this guitar. I think the sound of this guitar is great. The feel of the guitar is great, and it's really, really convincingly Telecaster. I love what PRS are doing with the NF53, but I don't think it justifies the price. So right now, until they go on half price, I'm going to stick with this. And I don't know, I kind of like the Seymour Duncans that I've got in here. I made this video because I'd like to know what you guys think. So please comment here on whether you like the NF53, whether you like the idea of the price of it. Do you think it's fair? I mean, it's a third of the price of a core model, but you know, this is I don't know. This is a lot cheaper than a Vintera. This is the gap between this and a Vintera cost is significantly less, and I think that this is a great guitar, and it's again made in the same kind of area of the world. I don't know if it's the same factory. I don't know if Cortec are making Squiers. Maybe it's Squier making Squier. I don't know. I'm not out there. But this guitar, I've been gigging with it, and people love the sound of it. People love the feel of it when they have a go on it. And yeah, I think it'd be good for you guys to decide and tell me. Do you think it was worth me giving up the weight for an NF53 SE, going for the Squier? I certainly feel like I don't want the NF53. I'm happy with this. And if you're on the sort of fence, give one of these a try before you go and pluck for the NF53. But yeah, let me know. These videos are sponsored by the people who watch them and by liking and subscribing. So I'd like to hear from you, and stay excellent to each other.